Today on Very Delta, I'm drinking my Slurpee and your friend Kevin reads me. But first, do you want to see me go off? Because I think you want to see me go off.
Oh.
Mom!
Are you a lady like me? Introspective, beautiful. Oh, are you intellectual like me? Beguiled by a bargain? You like wild times? Oh, like me? Are you serving the community like me? Well, if you are, then you must be very Delta. I'm Delta Work, and this is Very Delta, a luxury public access podcast and YouTube talk show where I look gorgeous, speak extemporaneously, and invite fascinating people to sit on the couch and get very Delta. Very Delta is for the woman who knows that between love and madness lies obsession, but between desire and body language lies confession. But first, let's get into some things that are very Delta. You know, I always have a story about flying. Flying is my favorite thing ever. I wish I could live inside of an airplane because I love all of the pomp and circumstance and the methods and the ways and how to I love it all. I love everything about flying. I love the airport, all of it. And you know, I recently talked about Mama Bear on the airplane, right? Mama Bear, Papa Bear, baby. But those aren't the only people that are notable on an airplane. You know, I'm not getting on the plane unless I'm in business class. That's just the way it is. I'm not flossing. I'm just saying, we covered this before. I don't sit in first class or business class because I want more leg room. I sit there because I want more ass room, right? And that's what I'm getting. I'm not really worried about the pre-flight drink or what's for lunch. I don't want any of that. I don't want any of that. I just want room. I want to be on board before everybody else, and I want everybody to shut up. But that doesn't always happen because in first class, you're always going to get these people, and it's usually not throwing any shade on anyone. It's just usually people who maybe are a little bit older than me and maybe want everyone to know that they're definitely in first class. And so there's always that guy that comes on board and he just speaks with all of his, say that with your chest. That's what he does. He says everything with his chest. And it's usually, this is the look. It's going to be a navy blue sport coat, blazer, not a suit separate, a sport coat. So it's got like the gold buttons here. And that's, you know, a telltale that is a separate, not a suit separate, but a sport coat. So he's got that on. And then maybe he's got like an old, like, I don't know, Clinton for president shirt on or something like that. And then a pair of khakis, always pleated, never flat front. And he gets on, takes it off. Oh, here, honey, this can go hung up. Go ahead and hang that up. Okay. So the flight attendant is always like, oh, of course. And, you know, they'll always hang everything up. They're always polite. Then he picks up his bag and he goes, oh, gotta love the smell of Coach leather. It smells so good. It smells not like any other leather. And I'm thinking like, really? I mean, is it really that big of a deal? Like, it's a bag. It's a bag that you're carrying, I don't know, your laptop in and your Rolaids and a change of underwear. Like, it's not that big of a deal, like that the leather smells so good. So then they always try to pass it off to the flight attendant. Well, let me tell you something. It's a new dawn and a new day, and flight attendants do not have to and should not be putting your carry-on pieces up above for you, because if they strain themselves in any way, their job is not paying for it. So they can tell you which ones are open. They can point it out. You got to put your own up there. And I know you're thinking, well, I'm in first class. The leather smells so good. You just hung up my sport coat. Well, you're going to have to put your own bag up, because what are you going to do? Pay their bill when they throw their back out? You're not going to do that. But that person always thinks like, you got to put my bag up. And then they sit down, and then suddenly they realize when they're in a bulkhead seat, right? That bulkhead, that right in the front of the plane, they have to put everything up. And they're like, well, I don't want to do that. Nobody else has to do that. Well, that's the rule. That's just the rule. And when you pick a 1, 2, a 3, a 4 seat right there in the front. That's just what you're getting. That's a bulkhead. They can't stand it. They can't stand to be told. And then they're like, oh, let me go ahead and get a champagne. Can I get a champagne? Well, we know you're getting a pre-flight drink, but usually it's just a little something. Usually they'll bring you the tray and they're like, would you like an orange juice or would you like a water? Or maybe they'll push it to a mimosa. Well, this guy I saw the other day, he had to have no mimosa, no water, no orange juice. He wanted just champagne. And the flight attendant kindly said, I'd be happy to get you a full champagne when we are in the air and we are at a cruising altitude. But right now I have these options for you. Which one works best? Well, can't you just take some of the orange juice out of the champagne? Where are you living? What is happening? Why would you need that so bad? Mind you, this person is on a flight from LA to Phoenix, like Mesa Airlines or Republic Airlines operating under American or United or whatever. Sir, we are in an airplane in the sky under an hour. We're going to Phoenix so you can connect. You can kind of chill out. Like, it's not that big of a deal for everyone to know. Guess what? I know you passed by. I know you saw me sitting here, but I want you to know I'm in first class. Don't forget, I'm the one that has the blazer hung up. I'm the one that needs a special drink. I'm the one that can't put my things up in the bulkhead seat because I need access to everything in an under 1 hour flight. But that's not the only person who blows my mind on an airplane. There's also the people that have never flown before. So when they pass through and they have to pass first class, they look around at the person behind them and they're holding their boarding pass and they're like, sorry, we're poor. We don't get to sit here. Sorry, I can't believe. Oh my gosh, this is where all the rich people sit. Babe, let me tell you something. If you jump on Travelocity or Priceline or wherever you want early enough, those seats are only really a couple of $100s more than every other seat. Now, of course, the closer you get to your actual departure, the more expensive they get. But in reality, when you're flying from LA to Phoenix or wherever it's not that much more. So it's not really all the rich people are sitting in there. It's just the people who said, you know what? I got a little extra right now, or I have the points. Or maybe it is rich people too. But for the most part, they're people that are just like, I want more ass room. It's that simple. But you'll always see those people coming through. They've just never flown before. And they don't realize, like, oh, you mean when you said I have to put an item down here and I could put an item up there? Like, which one do I put? Well, how about the one that fits? How about you try to put the biggest one up there and then the smallest one underneath? And then when the flight attendant says, can you put down your tray table or the seat back or whatever it is, not only is it the person in first class, but it's that other person that's never flown before that doesn't realize that those are not suggestions. Those are requests/demands. These are the things that have to happen before the plane can land. You may look at it and say, I don't know why it's important. Well, you know what? They've already explained to you that the job of the flight attendant is to do one thing and one thing only. And that is to secure your safety so that when you get from point A to point B, that you make it there completely safe. Everything else is gravy. The champagne, the nuts, the warm nuts, the nut on someone, whatever it is, all that is extra. All that is extra. And then there's other people on the plane. And they're usually not first class people. And they're definitely not people who've never flown before. It's a different breed of people. It's people who have flown before. Absolutely. They've probably flown way too much on Southwest because they think that regardless of what is on their boarding pass, regardless of what seat they're assigned to, they are going to sit where their friend is or where their sister is or where the person that they talk to at the gate is. And then they're going to wait for whoever is actually assigned to that seat and go, oh, you wouldn't mind sitting in 9A, would you? It's a window seat, but this is my friend. And I kind of wanted to sit with her. And then the person's like, well, no, I selected this seat and I was assigned this seat and this is the seat I would like to sit in. And they're like, really, you're sure? Because it's a window and this is an aisle. Well, yeah, because I chose this seat and these are the seats that are assigned to me. Well, I mean, it's not that big of a deal. Like, it's not that big of a deal to switch. Well, guess what? If it's not that big of a deal to switch, why don't you take your ass back to your assigned seat? Because it's not that big of a deal to switch, is it? Just go back. Can I just be a little bit somber here as well? And let's just yell and call out the elephant in the room. If and when that plane makes an unscheduled stop in the middle of the ocean or in the desert, something that was never planned, I want people to know that the person that's seated in that seat is the person that's on that boarding pass. That's what we need to do. That's accountability. That's one of those things that we're talking about that flight attendants don't want to happen but are fully prepared for. And that is, if for some reason we need to determine based on a seating chart who is seated in this plane that has made a stop not at its destination, we want to be sure, because we don't want to find out later, oh, well, so-and-so switched because it wasn't a big deal. It wasn't a big deal. Like, if you have to go through these seats in the desert, like, they probably should know we wanted to switch, right? Stay in your assigned seat. Stay in your assigned seat. If for some reason you're on a plane, and I've been on a plane before where it's only half full. I've been on a plane where it was like 10 people on the plane because they just need to get the plane from point A to point B, the crew, that whole storyline. You have to ask for permission still. You have to get this cleared with the people who are on board that have to make these decisions and these adjacencies and understand all of these things for a reason. We are moving in this tube in the sky. You know what I'm saying? Anything is possible. Anything is probable. They need to have accountability. And it's not for you to get on the plane and go, well, I just like sitting over here. So it's not that the seats are open. It's not that big of a deal. It is a big deal. It's a huge deal. And it's so funny how it's not a big deal to people who it's not a big deal for them, but they hold no space for it being a big deal for everyone else, for other people who have paid, for people who are adhering to policy, for people whose job this is to make sure that everyone is accounted for. I just don't get it. I dare somebody to come ask me to move. Please, if you're watching this, if you see this, you will leave with a foot so far through your throat. I have no time for you. I really don't. And I get it when you see these videos where people are like, oh, well, my husband and I are traveling and we were traveling standby. That's what happens when you travel standby. That's what happens. You know what I suggest you do? You go into your ashtray in your car and you take out your little coins and you put them in a coin purse and you zip it and you go to the grocery store and you dump it in Coinstar. And then you keep collecting all your money and all your Coinstar receipts and you go cash it in and you put it in an envelope that says airplane fund. That way, the next time you fly and you don't want to sit in a middle seat in the back, you have the option of economy plus. You have the option of business class. You have the option of first class. You have the option of first class with cancellation, no fee. You have the option of mint on JetBlue. You have so many options ahead of you, but it is not, we talk about this all the time. And I feel like we are revisiting it. And I tell you this because I love you. I shouldn't have to tell you this, but I'm telling you because I love you and I want you to understand what's happening. You look like a giant hairy asshole when you do not adhere to the rules that are set forth for your safety. Stop doing that. Stop being at the gate and going, I'm boarding class 6, and you look up and it says we are boarding group 1, and then you go up and go, is it 6? Now listen, I'm holding the space for people who maybe visually there's a problem. I hold the space for people who speak more than one language, which I have so much space for that. So maybe there's an issue within the translation. I understand that. But I see people with your Patagonia on, and I see you with your refillable water bottles and your Tiva sandals and your hairy knuckled toes hanging out. And you walk up to the gate and you're like, watch this. And you try to get into boarding group 1. And you know what they're boarding. You heard. But you figure, well, if I get up there, they're not going to send me back. They're going to send you back. And they should send you back. You knew better than that. They actually, if you go up there and you say that, and I know there's no issue, they should move you further down in boarding. But people figure, well, what is the philosophy people say? I would rather apologize than ask for permission. Not me. I want to know all the rules. I want to look at them and I want to adhere to the rules. But this is the thing. If the company is not abiding by their own rules and I am abiding by their rules, I'm going to light them all on fire. Every one of them. I don't give a shit. I'll call everybody out. Not because I'm that, or not because you don't tell me what to do. I'm just saying, stop expecting people to do something and then they do it. And then you're like, well, not this one time. Not this one time. I'm abiding by your rules every time. Every time. It's just the way it is. There are fucking freaks there are crazy people on the airplane. I gave you that one because I know we're going to be possibly monetizing the show and we can't be cussing so much. So there's crazy people on the airplane. Do you want to see me take a break? Because I think you want to see me take a break. Today's guest is a little Hank Green and a little Sean Cody. It's your friend and mine, the one and only Kevin. Hi.
Woo! No one's going to clap here, so I'm going to clap for myself. Hi.
I think people sometimes think that there's like a lot going out on the other side, and there's nobody here.
No, but you would thrive with a studio audience.
You think?
Oh, holy yes, of course. This is the perfect show for it.
We've done live shows before, and they're fun, but I feel like there's such a weight of like the fear that people are going to be like, what?
Oh, well, that's all in your head. You're perfect.
Thanks.
Yeah.
That's sweet of you to say. Well, thank you for being here and bringing me just what I wanted was a compliment.
And I also brought a gift. Here you go.
We are doing a gift already. Thank you.
Yeah.
How beautiful is this? Did you wrap this?
Yes. I can't wrap gifts, but I can do a bag with some tissue sticking out.
I'm gonna tell you something. And I never look a gift horse in the mouth, and no one is so rich as to throw away a friend. But there's something extra special about getting a gift where the back or here the spine hasn't been broken. You know when someone folds the gift bag in half?
Yeah.
Especially when you buy it and they're like, did you want this in a bag? And they smash it. I'm like, go get another one.
100%. I will say, though, I am a serial reuser of gift bags.
Oh, me too.
I'm not going to spend $5 at Target for a bag.
Oh, what in the world?
So I got you a book. Sorry for the assignment in advance. But it's Grimoire Girls, Hilary Burton's new memoir. It is one of the best books I've ever read. I picked it up as kind of like a joke. I was like, oh, this is something to do. I usually love a celebrity memoir. Most of them are garbage. This one is so fascinating because it made me fall in love with like magic and spell casting and the idea of passing down a grimoire, which is just notes, spells, advice to the people who are in your coven. And I feel like that's what this podcast is like. It's you. Does it smell nice?
Did you spray something on it?
No.
Are you wearing something?
No.
It's
a new book. It's got that new book vibe.
No, it has patchouli smell on it, which I love. It's my like number one thing.
That's fascinating.
I really do.
I don't know garbage about scents, which is why I got you a book and not a scent.
I'm so grateful for this. Thank
you.
you.
I just think it has to do with your podcast and how you're constantly sharing like wisdom and perspective and just like a new point of view for people to kind of mull over and learn from.
Thank you. That's so thoughtful. Off the top, I feel like this is something that I never talked to anyone really about. What video game do you think is very Delta? Because I don't play video games.
I would say to me, you are a Sims girly, but not someone who's going to take care of the children, but someone who's going to spend a lot of time building your house, building the aesthetic, and letting it sit as this perfect image of what you would imagine from the universe. I think you're a builder. I think you're a person that likes to imagine and make it happen.
I love that. Okay. How long do you normally play video games in a given day?
I go back and forth depending on my mood. I usually play like 30 minutes every day before I go to bed or if I'm falling asleep or something like that. But if a good video game comes out, I will make it my entire personality and spend the entire week just going through every dungeon, every crevice, every single thing.
What's the longest you would say like a video game session?
Oh, gosh. I mean, I've played Super Smash Brothers for the entire day.
Really?
Yeah, I used to play competitively, and it got to a point where it was like an obsession, a little unhealthy. And yeah, I mean, I've spent 18 hours sitting in one spot, just breaking for meals.
Can you pause it to like go to the bathroom or get something to eat?
Yeah, but when diapers exist, why would you?
Right,
You just want to sit there and let it happen.
And
the
would,
game's
at
more
that point, would it be like video gooning, or is that no?
You and your gooning, I swear to
I'm
God.
fascinated. I'm fascinated.
I mean, to be blunt, I don't approve of the
don't like
lifestyle,
it.
really. If
You
you're
don't
gonna
like it.
edge, just call it what it is, and edge for a little bit. I
Mhm.
don't have time to goon. I'm not here to impress anybody.
You don't
I'm
make
here to,
funny faces
I'm
ever.
Oh, I mean, who's that for? Who's it for? Who's the funny face for?
You can't control the faces that you make.
I think we can. I think we can control a little bit.
I think you're inhibited. I think you need to be uninhibited.
I think the world needs more habituation.
What about being habitual?
Are you habitually gooning? 'Cause
I'm a
now we're.
Aren't you?
You know what? That's fair. After my last comments, I think that classifies as a truth.
Tell me about boyfriend twins. I want to know about boyfriend twins.
Oh, my newest podcast
Yeah.
with my best friends, Haha. We look the same, and that's the bit.
Yeah.
We talk about relationships and being gay and any other pop culture moments that are happening at the time. We laugh and we love,
Mhm.
and we get into whatever crazy antics we can find.
What do you think though of like honest to goodness? I find it. I see it kind of all the time, and that's
Mhm.
like actual boyfriend twins. Is it just a thing? Like I don't. I have no shade for anyone that is that. Is it seeking out someone that looks like yourself, or is there something more in that, or is it just like there's only a few styles out there and we all adhere to one?
Oh,
I don't know.
please. There's only a few styles out there. You're
Really?
being too generous. I mean, that's the thing. It's like if your boyfriend looks like you, maybe talk to a therapist about it.
Mm.
You know?
Do you
Not,
think
it
it's-
doesn't have to be wrong, but like
Mhm.
let's dissect that a little bit. I think that's fair. I think that's. Is that too mean? Is that too
No,
judgmental?
I mean, I think it's. I think. I mean, I asked the question,
Yeah.
so I mean,
What
the
do you
answer is
think?
going to be the answer. Have you ever seen drag queens who date one another and they both look like the same in drag?
I'm not that attentive when it comes to like makeup, wigs, all that
Oh,
stuff.
you don't support drag?
No, not
Right,
at
that's
all.
what you meant. That's
no,
what you said.
I'm just not. I don't have that eye for the details. So like, when someone's brand is their own, you can tell. But when it comes to like, oh, they changed the cut crease, I'm like, oh yeah, definitely. So I have to usually be told what's going on rather than like notice myself.
I feel like you would be able to notice because of video games being like a thing where you have to specifically find this or that. It's not the same. huh?
No. I'm too stupid. See,
Oh.
see what you failed to understand is that I'm a big dum dum. So.
Oh, I don't think so.
Oh, I actually lied to your producer earlier.
Hmm.
I wasn't late because of car trouble. My car works fine. I was late because I forgot your gift.
Wow.
That's how dumb I am. Object permanence of a 2-year-old child.
No, that's not dumb at all.
I think.
That's- you know what that
let's
is?
see it in the comments.
Rico.
Let's see it in the comments, baby.
Suave, rico. That is smooth. Wow.
Dum dums unite. There are dozens of
Wow.
us.
But
Dozens.
how is that dumb? That's not even dumb.
I think
That's-
it's pretty dumb.
That's smooth because then you just like, you know what I mean? You just like told me that and now even further like cemented and ingratiated. Where's your presents?
Exactly. Yeah. Ooh. Oh.
That's fierce. I swear you're wearing something. I smell something and it's not, it is the book, but you had to have put something on it. You really don't wear, are you just not wearing fragrance or are you not a fragrance person really?
I'm not a fragrance person.
Just not into it. Yeah.
Yeah, because most fragrances in my mind are the ones I love are floral,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't want to necessarily smell floral.
Mm-hmm.
And then the ones that men wear to me are so aggressive to
I'm
like
very
the senses.
soapy usually.
But I do wear Arm & Hammer deodorant that I buy in bulk.
Oh, what's the scent in that or is it unscented?
I think it's unscented.
Really?
I think it just smells really nice.
You probably do. I mean, you can. I don't see a reason why you wouldn't.
I don't want to smell bad.
Mm-hmm.
And I know when I have a skank, that's not the right word.
A stank.
A stank.
Well, you are a skank as well.
That's right. That's
Mhm.
right. My stank spreads through the room, not my
Oh.
skank.
Yeah, but the thing is, if you're a clean person, and I believe that you are, then and then you have a stank. It's not really a stank. It's just like
An aroma.
an aroma. Aroma. That could be your drag name. Do you have a drag name?
No.
It
but
could be
you know what?
Aroma Tease.
Aroma teas. See, that's too feminine. Look at me.
Really?
Look at this chin. We're not coming out of the gate. We're not
Really?
we're not opening those curtains to beauty.
Look at this chin. You can still see the fucking beard coming through.
Yeah, but you're a professional. You know how to work it. This whore does not.
Why?
Why?
Why do you not know how? You look at your nails.
That's right.
There's a soft side to you.
I can handle a feminine angle if it is 1% of my body. The other 99 has to just come along for the ride.
You do. Nail polish is like kind of an artistic outlet for you.
I love it. It's
I
my
know you do.
favorite. Like, I just like something sparkly. I love it to look nice, and you can take it off anytime. You can change it anytime.
What's your default color?
Oh, I love just a purple, blue, black, a nice cool tone.
Mhm.
Love.
What's a color you're not putting on your nails?
I'm so sorry to say this. Orange? Orange, the worst color? I'm so sorry. I love an orange diamond. We love good branding. I put this on because of you, and I think you're special. Orange is the worst.
Aw. Do you have to take the nail polish off when you are with gentlemen, or do you leave it on?
They can deal with what they get.
Hey,
Yeah.
that's a new
No, of
day for
course not.
women. Okay,
This is the only interesting original thing
I
about me.
mean,
We got to keep it on.
we are strong. We are invincible. We are woman. Hear me roar. Let's take a break. I've been really sharing and promoting poopery. Like, I love poopery. And
Mhm.
I like being prepared in any situation. Like this morning, there was almost a really bad situation here.
Uh-huh.
And we usually get here at our call time, me and producer Doug, and we usually get here a half an hour early, but Doug wasn't here. And I thought I just had to tinkle. And I was like, oh my gosh, I'm doing pee-pee dance. And I thought, well, let's just go over here by the dumpster and just take a piss. Who cares? And then I didn't. And I was like, no, just wait, because there's a law office there and I don't want anyone to feel uncomfortable. Soon as I got into the door, I was like, oh no, this is going to be more
We've got a
than one
problem.
thing.
Yeah.
And I didn't have my poopery with me. So I just had to come out and announce. Like, I was like, I want everyone to know, like, off limits for 10 minutes.
I was in heaven yesterday because I was training a client at their place, but we were in their little gym inside their apartment building.
Okay.
So like they have their tiny little setup, whatever. And then there's a private bathroom next to the gym, and they left. I was about to leave. There was no one around, and I got to shit in peace and never see that place again. It was lovely.
I love it. We are back with your friend and my friend Kevin. You brought me this beautiful book,
Yeah.
and I think we would be remiss if we did not talk about your book club.
Yeah.
Yeah, tell us about it.
I've got a book club.
And it meets online.
And it meets online. No, I like 2 years ago, I was like, I'm not reading enough gay books.
Mhm.
And I just wanted to explore more literature written by queer people, queer stories, just things like that to get me out of my literary box.
Mhm.
And everything that people were recommending to me were written in like the 80s and 90s. And I was like, this is lame.
Mhm.
So yeah, I started a book club on Twitch. We meet at the end of every month, the last Sunday of every month. And once a month, we read a book written by a queer person, written about queer people. It's very good. Yeah, I have an Instagram, Your Friends Book Club. You can check it out there, or you can just ask me in person and I'll tell you to go to the Instagram. So there's that.
Would you ever write a book? What would it be about if you wrote a book?
I am not someone who likes to come up with original ideas. I like to critique others.
Mhm.
So if I was to write a book, I feel like I would write a young adult novel, but I would make it as realistic as possible. So many young adult novels will like kind of lean into the fantasy of it all and kind of make a story that is unrelatable to me simply because it's about finding love in high school or whatever.
Sure.
And I want to write a novel about how that is so unrelatable to 90% of the people. And I want to write a book about someone who aspires to create the young adult novel fantasy in their life and then watches it crash down. And then they like realize what their existence is really about or what is really important to them. I just kind of like that idea of turning the young adult novel on its head and kind of twisting it in a way where it's not expected.
That Slurpee's hitting you, isn't it?
Oh yeah, baby. I put a Red Bull in it.
Should we cheers? We're recording this on Slurpee Day, 7-Eleven.
I wasn't prepared for that question.
I wasn't prepared for that answer. I thought you were just going to say, I'm going to write a book where I'm like 75% of it is pictures of me, and then I just tell you how to lose 10 pounds.
What am I, RuPaul, making another memoir? I don't think so.
Right.
It's gonna be. I wish I put a scent on that book just to with you. I wish I could take credit for this.
Where was tissue paper in your home?
Underneath my propagated plants. We're getting farther from the source.
Let me tell you something, and I believe this. I don't know. I don't know much about the sun and the moon and the stars and all of it. I wish I understood all that. But they say when you smell certain things, that sometimes it's people coming to you or whatever. And you would tell me if you were wearing something. I know that you would. Mm-hmm. I know that you're not because it's not strong enough. It's only happening sort of like mm-hmm. little, but it is clearly patchouli.
Okay.
I don't know what it is.
My roommate did drive my car earlier today, and they might have had a scent on.
No, it's not your roommate.
I can't help you. I'm so sorry. I cannot help you.
Does your roommate look like you?
No.
What does your roommate look like?
A woman.
Yeah, I know. Does she look like? Does she wear the nails?
Mustache, cuts, everything. Yeah.
No, for real. Is the library always open? I mean, you have a book club.
Of course.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm someone who can't shut their mouth. The thing I always have to make sure when I'm speaking is that I'm staying in my lane, because if I don't shut up. Therefore, I have to make sure I'm not talking out of my ass. Mm-hmm. So yeah, the library is unfortunately always open.
But see, this is like we communicate back and forth on Instagram,
mm-hmm.
silly memes, this or that or the other.
And you're wild. Your taste is not what I expected. You are not a demure. You are not a demure, chaste woman. Your spirit is akin to what I would describe as a goblin.
A goblin?
Like a beautiful goblin.
I'm a beautiful goblin. What does that mean?
Troll. Like in another life, you'd be underneath that bridge. You're a mix between a siren and a goblin underneath a bridge asking questions so people can cross by.
What the fuck? The library
that
is
makes
open.
Complete sense to me.
I love it.
A beautiful seductress that brings folks in and says, no, baby, no. You're going to do what I say. And then they die.
See, other people like to tell me your humor is that of like a really gross straight frat boy.
I think that's the same. I'm hearing double.
It kind of is, right? Because we talked, the first time we ever met one-on-one was at Fat Slut Meatball's show. And we hung out in the dressing room. And I don't know how the conversation so quickly got to where it went, but it was basically about this idea that, aesthetically, we are two different people under the same umbrella. Mm-hmm. But the expectations put on someone like you who is, you are a personal trainer. You have a lot of knowledge about fitness. It's what centers, a lot of what you do and the things that are around you. So what happens is I feel like people put this expectation, and this is just my viewpoint from seeing my friends, mm-hmm. Put this expectation that if that's the ideal, they better never deviate from that ideal. And if they do, they sort of owe me something. Like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Whereas for myself, people are like, oh, crazy fat like you better always be a crazy fat and they put us in our lanes. They say stay in there. What is that? What is it? Do you see that?
Yeah, I mean, it really is. It speaks to how people want like a narrative. They want branding mm-hmm. from someone. Once they identify them as one thing, they don't really love change. And so when things switch up on them or they discover a new aspect of individuals, it can be scary. I mean, the problem is also like sometimes when like hot people get attention from being hot and then they're like, also, I'm a comedian. It's like, are we funny? Mm-hmm. Are we interesting? Mm-hmm. And I don't want to see a single comment down below answering that question. When it comes to me, you can keep it to yourself. I'm too insecure. I don't want to see that. But still, really, it's like the expectations are mm-hmm. there sometimes because someone hasn't deserved any other credit.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, I think people just love their assumptions. They love their boxes. They love to call someone a Sagittarius and then say that makes them their enemy. So I don't know.
And what's your sign?
What do you think?
I don't know anything about them. I just usually when people tell me, I go, "Oh my God, yes, I
Exactly.
see
Me
it."
too. Me too. No one ever guesses my sign properly, and I don't know what that means. But I'm an Aries.
Okay.
I love things and places, and also sometimes people. So, whatever that describes. However, in Grimoire Girls, there is a section that Hillary talks about. She says that in order to get to know someone, or a fun way to get to know someone, she asks what body of water someone associates themselves with.
Okay.
She goes on about rivers and talks about how they're like always moving, always shifting, but beautiful when they are just like running past you, and so calming, and so they bring so much life to like the place that they're in. So, better question: what body of water do you think you are?
Well, I can tell you because I'm wildly attracted to water. I mean, insanely. And I know this is always a roundabout way to answer a question, and I know I do that. It's a character flaw. But I always think to myself, you know what? If you just one day decided I'm going to go on a hike, I think I would eventually be somebody who made themselves about that. And I think you would see like a complete lifestyle switch because I see people go on hikes and I see them find these little tiny waterways and I look at it all the time and I will save them on Instagram or TikTok and I'm like, I'm going to go there sometime because they seem so peaceful. So any sort of surprise small waterway that I can hear or I can look at, I'm over the moon. I want to be there all the time. I want to put my feet in there. I want to put my hands in there. And I know I'm not trying to be like creepy or weird, but it really attracts me that much that I always say, I think there's a block that's telling you not to go there. And if you did, I really do feel like my whole trajectory of who I am as for my fun or hobby or lifestyle, I think it would change. I really think so.
But I just think that's such an interesting way to meet people or to hear about what they think about the world, because like calling yourself a babbling brook is so much more interesting than saying like, oh, I'm a Cancer.
I never thought of Babbling Brook.
Yeah.
That is actually that's my stripper name. Babbling Brook is my stripper name.
You never shut the hell up, correct?
Right.
Yeah.
He's read me like 4 times on this show. 4 times.
Listen, we're all friends
listen, you
here.
babbling troll.
I called you a
Drink your
seductive
Slurpee.
siren.
What? I love this though. I didn't see you as this person.
Oh, yeah, it's a problem.
You know, Ellen DeGeneres said she's not mean.
Yeah,
Would you say you're not mean?
Oh, I'm incredibly mean.
No,
The problem,
not.
Ellen needs to. This is my problem with Ellen and RuPaul. They are so f***ing iconic as individuals. They have done incredible works and immeasurable progress for all of queer people. Yet they are terrible managers. They don't manage well. Stop trying to brand yourself as the nice lady. You're not the nice lady. You don't have to be the nice lady. Be a That's fine. You deserve it. You deserve all the money in the world. You deserve all the credit. Stop trying to produce. Like you haven't done a good job. I'm so tired of it. And then of course people are like, oh, you don't support. I'm like, yes, of course I support. But the point is like, Ellen, it's like, you have not done a good job managing this institution. So you should not be a manager. You can go off to the Bahamas and live your happy gay life. You deserve that. Stop trying to brand yourself as something you're not if you can't do it.
What would you say the problem is with Suzanne Summers? Is there a problem with her or is she just...
I actually don't know who that is.
What?
Suzanne Summers?
You really don't know who she is?
No, I don't.
First of all, you should know Suzanne Summers for many reasons.
Okay.
Number one, Suzanne Summers is the iconic Chrissy Snow from Three's Company. You should also know her because she's a fitness guru known for the exerciser that goes between your knees and see me doing it?
Oh.
You see me doing the Thigh Master?
Look at those titties shake.
Like,
Hell
huh.
yeah.
That's why my thighs are so firm.
Hell yeah.
You know what's up?
Okay, you're right. I do know who
you know who she is. You just didn't know right in that moment.
correct.
But you know who she was. So we'll take it back. I say smell the patchouli
Don't give me
again.
the credit. It's fine.
Oh!
Is it you? Are you kidding me right now? You stupid. We can't be doing this.
It is me. I think it is me. You know, it's a new perfume. It's a pistachio perfume. And I say
Come on.
pistachio because that sounds better than pistachio. Pistachio.
Do you know how
is different.
distracting it's been this entire time watching you smell my book?
You should just count yourself lucky that I'm only smelling your book.
Well, join the book club. You could smell my book anytime.
He's a mess. You're a f***ing mess.
I'm sorry that I'm riffing off your chaos. You didn't know your own wig smelled. I think you've got enough going on.
You know
now.
why it smells like patchouli? Because that's in the base of the fragrance. So they based it in that. It really, I thought.
I'm just glad you're having fun.
I really thought like somebody was like speaking to us. I swear to God.
I was going with it because a lot of people do tell me that I smell nice, but I do think it's just my ability to.
Nobody said that.
Wow.
Not if you're not wearing any
Wow.
fragrance.
Wow.
What does your natural body smell?
Man.
Man.
Has that been marketed? Just
Mayonnaise.
man? Mayonnaise, squirt me out, baby.
You know what's something that also is interesting that I don't really. Some people know that I have 2 cats,
Mm-hmm.
right? And you have a dog.
Mm-hmm.
But what we have in common is that our pets have the same name.
Yeah.
Yeah. Your dog is Tango and my cat is Tango.
That's fascinating.
Weird?
I didn't name him that. He didn't even know his name when I got him.
Really?
They had no information on my dog. They were just like, he's one, maybe. And we ran along and
How did
had our
Tango
life
happen?
together.
How did that name happen?
They gave it to the people at the
Oh,
pound
they already
gave it.
named
Yeah,
him.
on his sheet it said Tango, and I thought he was deaf when I first got him because he wouldn't respond to anything I would say. But yeah, that's just the name that was given. I do love it though. It's strong. It's got a nice T sound. It spins off to a bunch of different nicknames.
See, and that's what I wanted to get at because I have a million. What are some that you have for Tango?
Oh, Tang,
Mhm.
Tangus, Tangaruski,
Okay.
Tangles the clown, dumb. Come over here right now. I swear to God.
See, I've never done any of those. Mine are a lot simpler.
It is a cat though.
It is a cat, and mine are usually just like Tango, Bango,
Uh-huh.
Sango. There's a company that makes dishes,
Okay.
and they're called Sango.
IKEA.
And when you turn it over, it says Sango.
Okay.
And near my home, there's the Sango factory outlet. So
I love
sometimes
that.
it's Tango, Bango, Sango factory outlet.
Can that be my drag name?
Yes.
Sango Factory
Yes,
Outlet?
I think
Love
so.
it.
And I like to pick him up and stretch him out like this, like an offering.
100%.
And hold him up like this. I'm like, I'm going to give your body to the sky.
Ugh.
Yeah,
love.
he's a big orange baby.
My favorite though is going to the dog park when people will name their dogs after something stupid. Like any dog named after food is adorable but useless. So
Mhm.
like cupcake or
Okay.
pastrami.
Celery.
Yeah, they're
like,
just like cupcake.
a lot of people do
cupcake,
that.
Get over here, and then you're just
Right.
like, okay,
yeah.
good job, lady.
You spoke about RuPaul. I remember when RuPaul used to come to Peanuts, which was a club on Hollywood or on Santa Monica, and her name when she would just come hang out was Cupcake.
Love that.
Yeah.
See, that's cunt.
Let's take a break.
I can't. You smelling your own hair. I can't.
I
get over it.
really did not think that.
You're so. Oh, you're amazing. I love it.
Isn't that dumb? Like,
Yeah.
how did I not
That's-
know that?
I'm supposed to be the dumb one. You can't be doing that.
I've never worn this wig before. I just cut the lace
Really?
today.
It
and threw
looks
on.
excellent.
Thanks.
Love it.
And so it didn't dawn on me that there would be a smell because usually with a wig, for the first 2 or 3 or 4 wears, there's sort of, this is going to sound so gross, there's like an egg white smell to them. I don't know what that is. It's like an eggy.
Is it the way
like,
the heat hits
ooh,
the.
girl, it makes me sick. I want to throw up when I hear that.
Yay!
We are back with my friend, Kevin. This is the part of the podcast where people send in letters. It's called Read Me Delta, which you've done plenty of today. I don't even know if you should participate in this,
I know.
honestly.
I know.
Should we read letters?
Absolutely. I'm so excited.
Should we read them for filth, honey? Okay, let's see what we have. Stay strapped.
Hell yeah.
Dear Delta and buff, hairy, smart, studly, well-manicured guest, what's your stance on dick pic etiquette? Like most people, I'm just so sick of the unsolicited dick pics. Aside from the act of showing me your DL meat and lacking any sense of good manners, there seems to be no sense of how this photo is taken. Specifically, I'm so sick of these DL homies sending me a dick pic while they're on the toilet.
Yep. Knew that I was going there.
In what world is that sexy at all? It's really gross. I feel like I can smell the damn photo. What are your thoughts on this? Sincerely, very Benny the Pooh.
Slay. I mean, listen, Blumpkins aren't for everybody. I'm not going to kink shame, but yeah, why? I think gay men forget that they are also red-blooded men who need to calm the down sometimes.
Hot-blooded, check it and see.
103.
Yeah.
There it is.
Hot-blooded, hot-blooded. Let's keep going.
Well, first of all, I actually don't want your dick in my phone. Thank you so much for not asking. If someone doesn't ask, don't send it, because, oh my God, if I'm at work and I open it up, that's bad. Also, if I'm a person who doesn't want to see your dick and I open it up, that's bad. I am in an odd position where I look like a complete whore online. So when people assume I want to see it, I get it. But also, that should not be your assumption. That should not be your go-to. This person wants to see my dick, my asshole, my bits and goodies shaking it about town. No. Delete. No. How do you feel?
I think that I'm on board with you. I think, yeah, don't send people pictures if they didn't ask for them.
Yeah,
if you do take a picture, I mean, I think the theory goes not just for pictures of your genitalia, but pictures in general. I don't want to see your dirty bedroom behind you. If you're taking a face picture, I don't want to see people eating in the quad behind you outside of their job. Like, just move to an angle where you're like, here's my face with a little bit of greenery behind me.
Yeah, and be honest.
You
look great. God. Just be honest.
I tell people all the time, we were talking about the pandemic. When I was during the pandemic, I was going live all the time with my camera right here and a ring light, if not 3 behind it, and a drape. And then when we started doing this podcast, these cameras are right here, and they're like this. And people see me and I'm like, whoa, okay, there's no secret. Like, there's no secret. And, you know, beautiful or sexy or whatever it is. I mean, I want you to know, bro, I'm over here in this dress and my nails and everything, but I've got on a pair of Amazon Basics cargo shorts and some Skechers slide-ons. So if you want to know about me striking a balance between sexy and sexy, you got it right here.
Yeah, and who cares about what they think? You've got tens of people watching you at any time.
Any given time.
Yeah, you're
Any
doing
given
great.
Guess what? The Countess Luann knows that I feel Giovanni.
That's correct.
Feeling Giovanni. Dear Delta and Kevin.
Ooh.
I hold the space for all cereal lovers, but I find Captain Crunch to be a little too abrasive, and I mean quite literally. With every bite, each of the cereal pieces seems to violently graze the roof of my mouth and gums. Even if I let the milk in Captain Crunch sit for a minute or two, it's just not enough time to soften the kibble-sized sweetened shards of glass. Why is Captain Crunch so fucking abrasive? Is there something wrong with me? Is this a medical issue or a food issue? Do you occasionally enjoy a bowl of Captain Crunch? Let me know your thoughts. Peace and light. Very Alejandra.
That's a person who gets it.
Gets it.
Captain Crunch, Trix, Cocoa Puffs, they don't respect you, and they never will, and that's why it cuts your mouth. Those cereals.
You don't like it?
Of course. No, like, it's uncomfortable to eat.
Will you eat it?
Of course, it tastes delicious.
What?
But I'm gonna complain about it.
Will you do a 2/3 of a cup serving? Will you do like a bowl? No. Like, what will you do?
I'm a man who enjoys his cereal. I need a big cereal. I don't know what that's from. Anyway, I need to be nourished, and I need that meal to be sustained. So, like, if I'm having a bowl of cereal, it's mostly sugar. So we're pouring in half that box.
Yeah. Well, what if you did normally eat cereal and it wasn't a sugary cereal? It was just like a regular cereal. What would
I love a Rice Krispie treat or Kix. Kix are pretty abrasive too, though. What is it? Chex. Chex
is
have a cereal with a banana just like cut up in there. That's where we get it.
Yeah. What kind of milk do you put in your cereal?
Cow milk.
Cow milk.
Whole or 2%, baby. I'm not here to fix America. Give me that regular milk.
Well, you're a real man.
That's
right.
True.
We've
that's
gone
true.
over this.
Yeah.
You are a real man, and you have to have real things.
Yeah, absolutely. Someday, my titties will be large enough where I can lactate out of them and make my own. But until then, cow.
Do you think you could lactate out of your own breasts?
I would love to see it, but I don't want to deal with the recourse of that situation. So like, I think that would be so fascinating for about 5 seconds. And then I would be like, I'm ruining my shirt. I need to find a solution.
This is your natural hair color.
Mm-hmm.
It is. It's interesting because.
Is this your natural hair color?
This is, yeah.
That looks
A Tijuana breast and a
Yeah.
big fat ass. It's really what I do best. But I was thinking about this, speaking of big fat ass. You posted a picture with a photographer recently, and I noticed the way the sun was coming off. It was glistening blonde hairs on your ass.
Oh.
Is your ass hair blonde just from the sun, or do you dye your ass hairs?
Oh, I don't dye it, but I haven't looked in a little bit. I'll have to check.
I don't dye it either, but but I look at ass hairs. You know, when people post their picture, I'm like, I'll zoom in, and I'm like, the sun is glistening through his ass hairs, and they look blonde.
Real NCIS of you.
Yeah, yeah.
Enhance.
And that's what you do.
What was the... Oh, we're talking about cereal. That's right.
Cereal.
Ass hair and cereal. The conversation just flows so
Right.
so
Well, it
effortlessly.
was started with milk.
Yeah.
With lactating, and you've never lactated before.
I haven't, unfortunately. What milk do you like?
Honestly, like 2% skim, because I get grossed out if the milk seems thick.
Oh, see, I'm the opposite. I feel like skim tastes like watered down milk. And then I'm like, if I'm going to drink milk, this is how I feel about diets in general for me. If I'm going to have the dessert, I want the dessert. I don't want a half-assed version of the dessert that also has more protein, but it tastes worse. I want the milk. I want the meal that is supposed to be the meal. I want the chef to think of what they want and then give it to me. Like,
what's your favorite dessert?
Ooh.
It could be a dessert family, like cakes, pies,
You know
ice
what?
creams.
I get so horny for some movie theater popcorn. I know. We can go to the AMC. We can order it off of Uber Eats. We know. We've seen. We watch. We know. Yeah.
And what do you like on your popcorn?
Oh, just slather it in butter. Just make it greasy so that when I have to leave the theater, the employees know that I was there and I've left my mark.
Right.
I want to be a problem for everybody else with how much butter I consume. I want it to leak onto my pants. And then afterwards, people are like, did he himself in there?
No, he's pre-lubed.
It's the butter.
Honey.
Yeah, I love it so much. And it's a problem because it costs like $11.
Yeah, it is expensive. You know what I learned? I'm going to share this trick with you. So you can go get like travel size spray bottles, right? And then you take that to the little butter area.
butter
You fill it up.
dispenser.
And then you close it up, and then you take it with you, and you can spray each layer as you're going, so
Shut
it doesn't clump up weird.
Oh, that's amazing.
I know. I'm telling you, popcorn is its
Oh my
own
gosh.
thing.
The people sitting next to me are going to be so annoyed. It's amazing.
Yeah, that's how you have to do it. That's how you have to do the popcorn.
Love it.
So cereal, I 1,000%. When I was a kid, we never had sugary cereals.
Same. I had a
Yeah.
fat phobic 90s mom who would only buy the things that weren't fun. Yeah.
I love Lucky Charms because I love those hard marshmallows. You know, you can buy just a bag of the marshmallows.
Just the marshmallows.
on
You know
Amazon.
what's great? I wish I could always mix the two. I wanted Honey Nut Cheerios and the mushrooms from Lucky Charms. Lucky Nut Charms, babe. That's my drag
Bitch.
name. There you
Lucky
go.
Nut.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the stage. Lucky Nut Charms.
There's a cereal that I love that you can hardly ever find, and it's called Crunchy Corn Bran. And they're little squares of bran and corn together, and they taste like nothing. So I have to put a Sweet and Low packet on them. Crunchy Corn Bran, but they're so crunchy. And I
Yeah.
love grape nuts. I know that's pure sugar, but I love it.
Grape nuts are great. Oh, my mom would reward us with sugary cereals. So normally we would have the plain the plain Cheerios. And then like as a treat, she would buy Honey Nut Cheerios. I'm sorry, I have to stop. I've been saying nut a lot.
Well, I was going to ask you, like, do you think your nut is plain or do you think it's honey flavored?
I think it's pretty plain. I don't
Really?
think there's much special about my nut, to be
Really?
completely frank.
Really?
I think I've got other stuff going on that make me special, but I don't think my nut is something that
It's
is
not.
truly desired.
Huh. I would think, yeah. I mean, I would think in order to maintain.
You agreed with that real fast.
No, and the reason I agree is because I think you probably have to maintain a relatively normal eating plan in order to exercise the way that you exercise and train the way that you train. So I think you would know what's going in your body and what might change the trajectory of your nut.
For sure.
Yeah,
For
I
sure.
think so. I think so. So you would know, like it might actually be sweeter because of this.
I hope so.
Yeah. Well, we'll find out.
I'm not one for the fireworks though. Because to
Really?
me, once the nut has been relinquished,
Mhm.
it is like that's curtains. We're done.
Right.
So that doesn't ever feel like something that turns me on. That feels like the end of that's the curtain call.
Huh, that's interesting. You don't like any of that pomp and circumstance. You just like, you're afraid of sex. You're
Afraid?
You're afraid of looking within.
I don't know.
Mhm.
Probably.
You're what body of water would you say reminds you of yourself?
Well, speaking of nut, I think I'd be a waterfall.
Yeah.
No, that's a joke, but I do think I'm a waterfall. Like you have to seek it out, and it's
Mhm.
very like I guess abrasive, powerful.
Have you ever thought of sticking to the rivers and the lakes that you've been used to? Well, listen. I mean, we have learned quite a bit about you and your abrasiveness, your reading,
and your ability to smell.
And the thing is, I would want you to smell my wig, but it has that sort of that eggy smell. So I think
I'm
canceling
sure
out-
it smells beautiful.
It doesn't. It smells like eggs.
Okay. To your standard.
Smell your armpit right now to describe it to me.
Oh, this is a trap.
No, because
It's got a fresh scent of Arm & Hammer with a little bit of, I'd say a little bit of like rose hip.
so you are wearing something.
No, but that's just like it's a more.
What kind of soap do you wash your body with?
I love it. It's a eucalyptus and something like lemon soap bar that's supposed to keep mosquitoes away.
Oh, I like that, especially during the summer.
Yeah.
Gross. Summer's gross.
Form and function.
Do you love summer?
Oh, off. No.
Really?
God, it needs to rain again. I hate the sun. It's
I know.
awful. What has
I'm
the
so
sun ever done for anybody? Nothing. Nothing for no one.
Didn't I say the sun is not beautiful?
It's blinding.
It's gross. Blinded by the light. Do you know that song?
Yeah, of course. Don't ask
What?
me to sing any of the lyrics.
Well, because everyone thinks he says something like a douche, but he says like a deuce. And everyone thinks that they're saying like a douche. Wrecked up like a douche.
I'd rather see a douche than the sun.
I'd rather douche than be in the sun, actually.
Absolutely. 100%.
I say, you know what? If you stay ready,
You don't gotta get ready.
thank you for being here. This is fun.
Oh my
This
God.
is
Thank
super,
you so
super
for
fun.
having
Thank you
me.
for my gift.
Of course.
Thank you for reading me, for luring me in. Thank you so much for listening and watching Very Delta. Our show comes out every Monday. Subscribe to Mom Podcast YouTube channel and turn on the notifications so you never miss an episode. Search for Very Delta on your favorite podcast apps to listen to the audio-only version if you can't handle all this masculinity. You can also sign up for our premium offerings on Mom Plus Gold by visiting Mom Podcast Plus, where you get weekly episodes of more Very Delta. Don't forget to send all of your questions to readmedelta@gmail.com. You can follow me on Instagram at DeltaWork. And where can people find you on social media?
Your friend Kevin across the board. The book club is Your Friend's Book Club. And you can find my podcast at Boyfriend Twins Pod.
I love that. Boyfriend twins, huh? Yes, huh? That's it. Thank you for joining us. And until next week, keep things very Delta. Very Delta is produced by Moguls of Media, aka Mom. Hosted by Delta Work. Produced and edited by Doug Robertson. Technical direction by Margot Padilla. With original theme music by Will Pitts. Media and design support by Stone Cold. And set design by Eris Sevilla. Executive produced by Alaska, Willem, Big Dipper, Camille Stennis, and Joe Cilio. Recorded at Forever Dog Productions.
This Slurpee's making me gag with how much sugar is in it. I thought you were sitting in my cup and in it.
That's how much you gag.
Mom!
To listen to Very Delta ad-free, one day early, and to get access to more Very Delta and all of Mom Podcast's premium content, check out Mom Plus Gold at mompodcast.plus.